Now think about this. Normally, like if Trevor Lawrence was going to go to the Jets, which he was supposed to, and he struggled in his first couple of games, New York would kill him because they have high expectations. Pittsburgh has high expectations. They would kill you if you don't do well. Packers, even Green Bay, high expectations. You know? Jacksonville is like perfect. They're not even an NFL market. They'll give you maybe, like, think about this. Everyone was like freaking out about him saying, "Oh, he said he doesn't have a chip on his shoulder. He's not motivated." He rushed to social media to say, "I love football. I was taking eye contacts, but Jags fans didn't care because they're a college town. They're not an NFL market. They're a college town. They will not be tough on him. So this is like kind of perfect for Trevor Lawrence. Considering how tough it normally is for the young guys to go into big markets. Like, honestly, that's why I think the Jets have so many busts. Because they're going into this big market and they're so hard on you so quickly. I mean, I've been critical of Ben Roethlisberger this year, but he's a Hall of Famer. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying he looks really like he's regressing. And you gotta watch the games to see it. Like, if you just look at, he threw 33 touchdowns, he threw 10 picks. Most of that was at the beginning of the year. But at the end of the year, the more recent part, he seemed a little out of it. You know? So, I just think I credit Big Ben for putting up with the Pittsburgh Steelers early in his career. Because the great thing about, like, Pittsburgh is they'll be hard on you for a while, but once you build a credible resume, they'll love you and they will stay attached to you until you're gone. I mean, Big Ben had an average year this year. At best. You know, sorry. But, you know, even though he could easily move off of Big Ben. Sorry if you hear that like multiple times. And they can move off of Big Ben. Like they could easily move off him, but they're not because they fell in love with him. And it's impossible for them to fall in love in Pittsburgh. Green Bay, you know, they fall in love and then they stay very attached. I don't follow a lot of Packers accounts on Instagram, but I do get a lot of them on my suggestion, and I look at their posts, and they're, like, really defensive of Aaron Rodgers last year. And I was, too. I thought he was still a top 5 quarterback, and he was. I was right. People were saying, he's not even top 10. You're wrong. He's not washed. Not anything. You know what he said on the Pat McAfee show when they had him on? They were like, how'd you get back to MVP form? He said it was his positioning that was the problem. He said if you look at anywhere from 2009 to 2016, his positioning was perfect. So he started doing like squatting and all that. But, you know, they were so defensive of him, even though he was definitely, and I mean, I was too, but I was able to admit he was not playing his best football. You know, he was only throwing it was definitely a down year for Aaron Rodgers. Like 25 touchdowns and two interceptions is a down year for him. But we still defended him, you know. That's the good thing. Like, all you gotta do is get past those first, 2 or 3 years, and then if you build a credible resume in those couple of years, then they'll be attached to you for the long haul. But Lawrence does not really have to worry about that, because he is going to Jacksonville, who will not be critical of him. So that's kind of perfect. Alright, now I'm going to tell you my top 5 MVP candidates if it were based on value. I really think the process of this is dumb. I don't think the award is dumb. I think the process of it is dumb. Just because it's turned into the best statistical season, or the best story, best narrative. That's what it's turned into. I don't know if last year LeBron deserved it or not. It was really confusing. I think I think he would have gotten it had the season not gotten shut down, because at the end of it, he was really on fire. He was really on fire in the last couple games. Before it got shut down. But, since it did get shut down, he's not deserving of the award. But, I just think, cuts are given to the people that are actually valuable to their team and actually doing something for them. I mean, obviously, putting up great stats is doing something, but it's not value. Who provides value to their team? Let's go for the top 5. Just gonna warn you, Giannis is not on this list, and Embiid is not on this list. And I'm gonna explain that now. Embiid is not. Embiid he just misses the cut. That's what I'll say. And Giannis, remember when Jrue Holiday got hurt? They went on a losing streak. Giannis is the best player on the Bucks. Jrue Holiday's the most valuable player on the Bucks. For Embiid, it's tough to explain. I just think there's one guy. If anything, Embiid would be 5th on this list. I think he just misses the cut. And it's not because of his injuries. Believe me, I'm not even counting injuries, really. I'm counting how they did when they were injured. I'm gonna give a spoiler alert. LeBron's on this list, even though he's mentioned like 20 games. It's because without him, I've been hyping them up for winning, but they're not really playing anyone. They played. I'm gonna give them credit for beating the Nets, though. I know they didn't have Harden, but I'm gonna give them credit for that. They still beat Kyrie and KD, so that was impressive. But I mean, they beat the Jazz without Donovan Mitchell and without Rudy Gobert. I mean, they've had one impressive win. Like seriously, look at this. Yeah, Mitchell and Gobert sat, And then yesterday they lost by 14. And they didn't have Mitchell there either. So, I mean, LeBron's on the list because they're not doing as well as they did without him. Embiid, I feel like the Sixers are fine without him. That's why I think he's not on this. He just misses the cut. So here's number 5. I'm going to get hate for this one, but let's get some music going first to ease it in. Number 5 is Jimmy Butler. Listen to me. They were not good when he was out. They're 24-17 when he's there. That shows value. And Butler is definitely one of the more underrated players in this league. Remember last year's bubble? I feel like, I just feel like he makes teammates better. I feel like he's just really valuable to the Heat, I really do. I kind of explained. I gave the stat, 24-17 with him. They're bad without him. 24-17 with him. Let's see what they are without him. Okay, so they're 24-17 with him. They are 6-11 without him. So, I think that speaks for itself. I mean, it's a little it's questionable. Him or Embiid are definitely number 5. You can debate that, but I got Butler at number 5. I think he's one of the more valuable players in this league. Alright. So, number 4 is LeBron. They are 27th offensively without him. Their defensive rating is plummeting as well. They're still first, but that's just because LeBron and AD built it up so much. And LeBron, I mean, I explained this already, kind of. You know, without him, they're not really beating good teams. When they have him, they beat good teams. Even when AD was gone, I mean, at least they were still beating good teams when AD was gone, and they just had LeBron. But, and you know, I kind of explained this. LeBron, it's stupid to argue that LeBron's not valuable. Just this year, he's definitely plummeted due to him. His injury has definitely ruined some things. Number 3 would be Nikola Jokic. They're 7-1 without Jamal Murray. That's huge. You see how well he played last night, by the way? 2 double. That was insane. I saw like the end of that game. That was crazy. But you know, they're 7-1 without Murray. You know, it clearly isn't stopping Nikola Jokic. That just shows his value. And that he is, you know, he's the frontrunner for MVP right now. Not only because of his stats, but he's one of the best passing centers in the league. Probably the best. You know, it doesn't really matter who's out. If you got Nikola Jokic, you're winning. Number 2 would be Steph Curry. The Warriors are 1-7 without him. They 1-7 without him. And with him, they are 28-22. They would be a playoff team with him. They have a 500 record, even though he missed 8 games. That shows his value. And, you know, the hot streak, I kind of undercutted the credibility of it, but it's definitely, it means something. I mean, he's done a great job, and, you know, the problem is that I threw out one stat for each of them, and that's kind of all I have to do to prove that they're valuable. Like, look at this. Number 1 is Chris Paul. 11 straight winning seasons. He brought the 10 seed last year to a 2 seed this year. Every team he goes to, it gets better. OKC was trying to tank last season, and he brought them to the playoffs. Almost brought them to the second round. And that Rockets team was good. So, I mean, CP3 has been valuable his entire career, and he's probably having his best year so far based on value. So, that's my list. Most valuable players. And, actually, I'm going to keep the music going here. CP3, speaking of him, he passed Magic Johnson, on the all-time passing list. One of the most valuable players. I can't believe he's 12th. He's 12th on Fox Bet for odds to win MVP. I like Devin Booker. He's a great player, but he's talented. He's not valuable. I cannot believe he is on a high. He has better odds than CP3 to win it. CP3 is the reason they're at the 2 seed. Booker did not bring them anywhere near. He brought them to the 10 seed, respectively. And, CP3 is the one, he's... And he hasn't really had... And I forgot to bring this up.